Anime Week in Atlanta! Welcome to Indie VTuber's Guide to VTuber Niches. We are an independent VTuber group called Abyssal, and we will be your hosts for this panel. Within the next hour, we will discuss some VTuber history and the different VTuber content niches, as well as talking about what niches each of us fall into. We also have something cool to announce at the end, so please stick around to the end for that. Now then, let's introduce ourselves, shall we?
Konnichiwa minasan, I'm Arashikaze, singer and game developer from Abyssal's first generation Voided, as well as one of EDM US's founding streamers. I can usually be found on some sort of creative endeavor, whether it be for art, writing, singing, game development, or otherwise. I'm always happy to do something for fun. You might be wondering, who's this little creature on my shoulder? That's my model parent, Kanumi. They helped me be here today, quite obviously. So I wanted to make sure that they could join me in some shape or form. So here they are. Next up is my gem mate, Hibiki, so you better stick around for their part. Or else. Take ya!
Hey, I'm Hibiki. Got a couple of things, king some others, but hey, that's not what's important. Now here's the cool and interesting stuff. I'm part of Abyssal's first gen Voided, and I specialize in rambling about whatever catches my interest. Games, lore, music. How have we got like one round or another locked and loaded? If you're interested, make sure to stick around. I've got a sweet little theory session with your name on it. And next up, we have the second gen's intro, starting with Brit.
Hello, I'm Brit Blue, but I go by Brit if you prefer. I am the silly purple creature artist of Abyssal's second gen, Navi. What do I mean by creature, you may ask? Well, for one, I'm not exactly a human as you can see, but I'm not a cat girl, and I'm not a dog girl either. I'm more of a hybrid beast creature, if you will. I'm an artist that focuses on mostly anime-styled art and character drawings. If you want to hear more about that, I highly encourage you to stick around as I go into detail later. For now, let's meet up with my wonderful gen mate, Constaluma!
Salutations, Atlanta! I'm Constaluma, better known as just Luma, silly stardust entity of Abyssal's second generation Navi, and protector of dreams at your service. When I'm not wandering around your lucky stars, you can usually find me drawing, editing videos, recording song covers, or playing one of my favorite video games over on YouTube. I'm always looking to improve upon my current skills and even pick up new ones. Nice to meet you!
So, you want to know what a VTuber is? In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to try and explain that all to you. The word VTuber comes from combining the words virtual YouTuber. This term was first coined by the first popular Japanese VTuber, Kizuna Ai. She rose to popularity and used the term in her self-introduction. A VTuber is a content creator who uses an animated avatar as their persona instead of showing their actual face, like myself and my friends here. The avatar is usually drawn in an anime or cartoon style, and a person who wants to be a content creator may not want to show their face online for various reasons. As you can imagine. Some of the most common usually being for privacy or to be anonymous, such as myself. That's one of the reasons for myself. Sometimes it's for medical reasons. I know several of my own friends actually, that's one of the reasons. They can't get up and go out as much as other people, and because of that they decided they wanted to be a content creator because they had fun playing games and they decided, hey, I can entertain other people by doing this. Another reason is to create an exaggerated version of themselves for storytelling, fantasy, or roleplay, or any other creative content purpose, really. There's a lot of people that do that. I enjoy creating complicated lore for my character. A lot of corpo VTubers, people in corporations. Usually they'll have some type of lore to their character. Something else to note is that there's several different types of VTubers. They are all different, but they can all still be considered VTubers. A 2D VTuber, like myself, is a VTuber with a two-dimensional model. Another type of VTuber is a 3D VTuber. A 3D VTuber uses a 3D model, such as this one, and they have some pretty cool perks. They have the ability to show off body movement. Tracking is much more complex than a 2D VTuber. It's very interesting. Most corporation VTubers eventually also get this type of model. It's usually more expensive, so it's not as commonly seen, but again, That's why it's more commonly seen in corporations, and they'll usually save it for like events, which is really cool. Another type of VTuber is a PNG tuber. I myself was a PNG tuber for my first whole year of streaming. A PNG tuber is someone who uses a static image as their avatar with a reaction whenever they're speaking or not speaking. It usually reacts to their microphone. Originally for myself, mine didn't even have that. Mine was just a completely static image without any reaction. Until like a couple months in, someone was kind enough to help me make one. The last type of VTuber that we have on this list is a GIF tuber, or GIF tuber, whichever you want to call it. It's very similar to a PNG tuber, but it uses a series of images, or GIFs, as their avatar. One person who has an avatar like this is a very popular content creator named Shoto. Originally, VTubing wasn't something that was all that popular. It started roughly in the year 2016 in Japan, and now fast forward all the way to 2025, and it's something that even people outside of the anime, manga, cartoon community are interested in because they see it as something that's fun, creative, and possibly something you can even make a living off of. And even safe in a lot of ways. So, hey, if it's something you might be interested in, you can always give it a shot. Trust me, we'll welcome you with open arms. They definitely welcomed me. Now I can't escape. I'm stuck here.
So now that we know what a VTuber is, what exactly do they do? Contrary to popular belief, VTubing isn't just singing or playing video games, but rather there's tons of different content niches that different VTubers like to explore. VTubing does have its roots in Japanese idol culture, so it's common to see a lot of VTubers that sing and dance. However, it's not the only thing that they can do. And even with singing alone, there's a lot of different things that can be done. They can do karaoke, they can do covers of songs, like I do, or they release original music. Aside from singing, other niches include first-person shooter gaming, turn-based role-playing games, podcasts, just chatting, interviewing, voice acting, art, comedy, music making, commentary, news reporting. There's a lot. There's really a lot. And no VTuber is limited to just one niche either. Some VTubers take a more casual approach where they just chat with their community and play games or do karaoke or draw, that sort of thing. And they pretty much just stream as themselves but with an avatar. Whereas other VTubers really lean into their character and use their medium to tell a story. And some VTubers flip-flop depending on the occasion. Whatever is comfortable for them, really. So let's dive a little deeper into some of those niches I listed off and give some examples of VTubers who fit them. Earlier, Arashi mentioned Kizuna Ai. Ai-chan has a few different niches. She does a lot of singing and dancing and has held concerts, but she also plays video games and does some silly skits. Some VTubers have a strong focus on their music and try to make that their career rather than just streaming something. Another example of that would be Mori Calliope. Music is her main focus, and she's known for rap and rock, and she also writes her own songs. But she still does some gaming and other activities as well. Some VTubers also help spread awareness to different topics and will do charity work. One such example is Iron Mouse. She became a VTuber for medical reasons and now helps to spread awareness about her condition and encourages people to donate plasma. Other VTubers take a more fantasy approach and like to use their medium to tell a story to the viewer. One example of this is Machina X Flayon. He really excels at immersion and likes to tell stories to the viewer through interesting streams and games. Another interesting thing about VTubers is they're not just limited to one language either. There are VTubers that speak all languages. VTubing has slowly become more and more popular over the years, with many more people all over the world picking it up. And each of those people fall into a different niche. So if you aren't so sure about VTubers, maybe you just haven't found the right one yet. Oh, by the way, going back to the point about how VTubing has its roots in Japanese idol culture, we've also borrowed a few terms from them. For example, when you do find your favorite VTuber, that's considered your oshi, which basically means, this is the one that I like the most and I want to support. You can have multiple oshis, but if you have one grand favorite, that's your kami oshi. It would take forever if I sat here talking your ear off about every single possible niche and listing off tons of examples of each and every one, so if there's a certain niche that I listed off earlier that might interest you, just look up what VTubers do that, and I'm sure you'll find plenty. There's so many talented ones out there that range from just hobbyists to full-on professionals in their niche that just happen to also be VTubers. For example, there's a lot of VTubers that are also professional voice actors. Some examples are Might+U VTuber, which is Alejandro Saab, or Toodles Clown, which is Joshua Waters. Some VTubers also happen to do art and rigging for other VTubers and make a living that way. Or some do other kinds of art professionally. Nino My Inanis does a lot of art, and she recently just did some design work for Project Sekai. So my point here is, VTubers shouldn't be overlooked just because they're VTubers. There's a lot of really talented ones out there that do all sorts of cool things, and it just might take some time to find which ones you click with the most, but I promise you, there is a VTuber out there somewhere that you will really vibe with. And hey, who knows? Maybe it'll be one of my group mates.
Has all this talk of VTubing piqued your interest? Did we create a small flame of passion or curiosity in you? Do you now want to be a VTuber? Well, here's what you would need. One of the first things you can do is decide what you want out of VTubing. Do you just want to have fun and treat it as a hobby? Or do you just want to make friends? Do you want this to be a career? Yes, I said it. VTubing can become a career if you want it to. Once you figure out that, that'll help you decide how much you want to invest in the next things I'm going to discuss. So, what you can do next is decide on a character to represent you, which will become the VTuber model itself. You can ask yourself these questions when creating your character. 1. Do you have an original character in mind already? Or do you want someone else to design the character for you? Do you want that character to look like you? If not, what do you want the character to look like? Does your character have a different personality than yourself? Or is the character just an extension of yourself? Lastly, you can decide what type of content you'll be doing. Do you want to focus on playing games or specific types of games like adventure games, RPGs, visual novels, first-person shooters, and the list goes on. You can decide which ones you want to focus on, or if you want to be a variety streamer and do a little bit of all of the above. Is there a specific niche you want to explore or explain to others? Do you have a special talent that you want to showcase, like art, playing an instrument, singing, or something else? So now that you've thought about all of those things, you can begin exploring your options about how to get the actual VTuber model. A fully customized VTuber model can become very expensive. This includes paying for the illustrator, who is sometimes referred to as the VTuber Mama, and paying for the live 2D rigger, referred to as the VTuber Papa. If you are not sure if you're ready to take on those expenses, well, fear not. There are plenty of affordable, fully customizable VTuber models available on sites such as VGen, Coffee, and Booth, or other places you could explore. You can also commission someone to make a PNG tuber for you to start with if you like. Or if you're an artist, like myself, you can make yourself a PNG tuber, just like how I did for my own. That way, you can stream first and see if you even like doing it before committing to a big step of getting a whole VTuber model made for you. If you like more clear examples about how a person can execute all of these things into being a VTuber, allow each of us, as Abyssal, to explain what we all do as VTubers.
What I do as a VTuber can honestly be summed up as spending a whole lot of time with my community. I strive to host a friendly, creative, and judgment-free atmosphere. As a game developer myself, I love to support other game developers. So I frequently play a lot of indie games on stream. It's actually how I've made a lot of my friends, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Sometimes I host co-working streams while I work on my game, and other times I just sit back and watch shows with my Kitsushin. I think more often than not, I'm either playing some horror game, indie game, or I'm forcing content that I like down your throat. Frequently, I also host creative sprints, where anyone can join and have fun with myself and a few friends. I come up with prompts that writers, scripters, and artists can use and show me when they're done. I like to showcase people's hard work and make sure it's appreciated. It's one of my favorite things, actually. It's why I had my friend here join me. I also play a lot of co-op games, such as Repo, Lethal Company, Peak, Minecraft, and I've also participated in a few tournaments. Not that they've gone great, but I have participated. The first tournament I participated in was actually for Lethal Company, one of my favorite games. Here's a clip of me practicing for that tournament. And here's a clip of me participating in the tournament. Zach, can you take these?
Yeah. Oh! Oh! You've gotta be kidding me!
I'm going to blow up.
Oh, she! Huh? What happened? Did you seriously just use an Easter egg on yourself? What happened now?
Yeah. Surprisingly, we won. Funniest clip, that is. We did not win the tournament. We won funniest clip. The second tournament I ever participated in was for my favorite game of all time, currently anyway. I frequently speedrun it, actually. It's called Repo. You probably know it. You've probably heard of it. Miraculously, my team and I won, despite my constant antics.
Is that good enough?
Sure.
Put me down, you whack-a-mole! Get that diamond! There's a diamond right there! Get it, Kyle! Put it down! Put it down! As far as the other two tournaments I've participated in, well...
Is anybody hurt?
Only a bit for me. I'm actually mostly fine. Uh-oh.
I might not be in a second!
Ah! Yeah. Something you'll also see me doing on EDM pretty often is karaoke's. I love to sing, and I'm proud of my voice, even if I do still have a long way to go. When I was younger, I sang a lot of songs from the Phantom of the Opera, Evanescence, and Adele, to name a few. Eventually, I started to really look up to idols like Lacus Klein, Ai Mikaze, and Izuta Kanade. I really wanted to sing freely like them one day, and, well, here I am.
You wanna know what I do as a VTuber? Well, whatever I want. For me, part of being a VTuber is sharing things I am passionate about. And that usually means I do whatever eating my brain space at the time. For example, let's talk about my favorite character to exist of all ever. The peak character known as Phantom of Abyssal. In my opinion, he's an amazing portrayal of someone who doesn't have any real sense of self. Like, he tries to be what other people want more than anything else. Of course, I'm not saying he's a selfless angel, but he's always wanted to fulfill someone else's wishes, like, rather than his own. He's desperate to have a purpose, that he projects it onto others. In a way, it's kinda selfish. But over and over again, he's had to burn himself inside out and kill his friends for something that he doesn't even know that will happen. And, I mean, he's literally burning himself. He takes in cornflakes. His body is turning to ash and crumbling away. That takes the metaphor to a whole other level. He's literally burning. And even as he's losing that cognitive ability, as he's continuing onwards, burning, he still continues and goes onwards. Because this is all that he has. He has to keep trying. Because imagine if he stops here, if he gives up here, right? Then what happens then? anything is over, he has to keep trying. And like, imagine having the mental fortitude to keep doing that over and over again. That's just insane. It's amazing, honestly. Like, I love this character so much, you couldn't even understand. And yeah, as someone as on the, you know, people pleaser variety, who like heavily relates to Fighton, maybe I'm projecting a tiny bit. However, this is my run and not yours, so I can say whatever I want. Characters are super interesting because like every single person who sees them are gonna interpret them in their own way and like use their own experiences to relate to and like understand what the character is going through. And all the power that characters have that the writers use to put it is fully based on how the person will interpret that. A lot of the time, people on purposely put things in there knowing that people will see that thing and link it to a specific thing, and then bam, you have a cool character that people relate to and people think is cool. So don't be afraid to speak your mind and think what you think about characters. Anyway, with that rant over, let's go on to some things that I like and I want to do in like VTubing and stuff in the future. For example, I really like music, and I really want to get more into music. I want to write songs for people, especially my friends. I want to freaking mix. Well, to be honest, I'm going to mix for my friends. Like, that's not even like a dream or anything like that. I'm going to mix for my friends. That's the thing that's going to happen. But other things that might be like, I want to try so hard, mixing something that I will do for my friends. It's simple like that. Because I'm going to be going to... I'm like super excited to learn in uni about music and mixing. Because, man, this is going to be so much fun. What else do I want to do with music? I think just in general, creating custom BGMs for like in VTubers would be super cool. Cause like I used to take a course for like, it's called like a gaming course. You don't actually play games in it, you learn how to make games. But the thing was called gaming, so it's a little funny. And I remember music is such an interesting and important part of games. The atmosphere can be set by just using a little sound or a little bit of music, or just simply not using anything. And then you can get that specific feeling. It's like, it's a whole different type of storytelling. And I love that so much. Just like the ability to like, you can, even without words, music can say so much to you. It can speak so much to you. Just like, from like, basically just a little bit of vibrations in your ear. It's insane, I love it. But like, on that note, I also specifically I want to randomly like experiment by making background music based off my friends, and I'll randomly shove it at my friends and be like, hey you guys, you like this? Dude, that's some cool fun things I thought. Something I love about being a VTuber though, is that how you can express yourself freely. Like, sure, you can like dress up your body as like a flesh tuber, right? You can like express yourself through that. But say if you're like me, a little bit of the DIY guy variety, you know? You got that body dysmorphia debuff. Then with that little video model, you can make a self that feels a little bit more like you know? When your own body is like writing against you. And I think that's pretty neat, you know?
What I do as a VTuber? Well, I am mainly an art streamer. I host live streams of my drawing process while I chat with my viewers about the piece that I'm drawing, or I bring up other topics along the way. And I also play games from time to time. Here. Oh, okay. Now what's in that? Now I want to be nosy. What was in this other room? Not this one. The one back here. Never mind. I don't want to go in there. I would like her to go ahead and kill me if she gonna kill me. I heard a thumper. Thumper.
Oh, that might have been what bit me.
Oh! Sign the contract of your fate. Wait, I didn't sign it! Dang it, I didn't mean to just click. Oh my god, it's a chicken onion. In the moon. Oh my god, I got him! I got him! Yes! There's a turret right there. Be careful! No, I was fine! you freaking kidding me? Because I've always been an artist, well, I guess you could say it's in my blood considering when I was a kid I drew this. Yeah, it's not a super impressive drawing of Chico from Kim Possible, but what if I told you I drew this at about 3 years old? So since then, I've never stopped drawing. When I found out that people can actually stream themselves drawing or doing art, and people actually watch, I was immediately intrigued. Even more so when I discovered VTubing. I mean, the opportunity to not show your face on the internet and just be an anime girl online, drawing other anime characters? I had to jump at that opportunity. Thus, my content focuses on the following: digital art creation using art programs such as Clip Studio Paint, which is my favorite program right now, learning and practicing new art techniques on stream, learning other mediums such as animation, comics, background illustration, etc., etc. I mainly focus on the anime art style for now, but I do plan on exploring other cartoon-based styles in the future. You can usually find me drawing character art, whether it be fan art of characters from TV series or games, other VTubers, or sometimes I draw my fellow online mutuals or friends' characters or personas. Here are a few examples of how my art started versus how my art has progressed over the years. Like I said earlier, I also play games too. I play like a lot of action adventure games like Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata, for example. I also explore some nostalgic PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 3 games, like my favorites Jak and Daxter, Ratchet & Clank, Mega Man X, etc. You'll find me playing Lethal Company a lot as well, because I freaking love that game. Especially the mods that come with the game. I play visual novels also. Mainly right now it's like Danganronpa. Especially when the new one comes out, you'll catch me playing that. And I also play a lot of RPGs like Honkai Star Rail or Persona or whatever new flashy RPG comes out that I might like. Another thing you may notice about me that you've probably been thinking this whole time is that I actually don't have a VTuber model. That's because for the time being, I'm actually a PNG tuber. I currently don't have a VTuber model of my own that moves around and stuff, but that's because I'm planning on creating my own VTuber model completely from scratch. Coming soon, VTuber model creation. I plan on doing live streams teaching myself how to draw a VTuber model from scratch. I'll be separating the model into each moving part after I draw the illustration that I want. I'll be learning to animate the model in live 2D animation, and the goal will be to design and or animate VTuber models for others in the future so more people can have access to it as well. VTubing as a whole has really helped me break out of my shell. Even though you see me up here now talking to you, inside, I'm a really very shy, introverted person that usually keeps to herself and is afraid to speak in public settings. But because of seeing so many awesome creators that I look up to do things that they've never done before, it motivated me to do those things also. If you're someone like me, please know this. You can do it too if you truly want to. Now let's move on to Luma.
What do I do as a VTuber? For starters, the biggest difference between myself and the rest of Abyssal is that my focus is on edited videos instead of live streams. I do an occasional scuffed stream every few months, but making videos is my priority. I edit my own videos and post them over on YouTube, which are usually either gameplay or song covers. I have become fairly experienced with editing these past few years between taking classes, editing for work, and experimenting on my own projects. I'm I'm still trying to find the style and workflow that clicks best for me, but having a YouTube channel where I post the results of my experimenting is a great way for me to stay in practice with editing, as well as my other skills and hobbies. Plus, it's nice to have a space to express myself and share my interests to whoever will listen. For many years, I had considered creating content online for fun, but I still had some worries about it. I've always been insecure about the way I look or act, and I also really value my privacy, so I don't want to share my face online. However, I also didn't want to be a disembodied voice entirely. I wanted viewers to have something to associate me with without it being my face. When I discovered VTubing, many of those worries were resolved. It opened up new forms of self-expression and creativity that I didn't even realize were possible, all while still keeping my identity private. It allows me to show who I am as a creative through a unique medium, using a design that represents me well, and I think that's really cool. As I learned more about VTubers, I became inspired to keep learning how to draw, sing, and edit, and I learned new skills like rapping, cover recording, commentating, and live 2D rigging. My channel has become a space to record my progress with improving each of these skills. To be more specific, here are each of the things my content focuses on. First, playing video games I love and sharing that love with whoever wants to watch. I mostly play Nintendo games, with some of my favorite series right now being Super Mario, Splatoon, Kirby, Pokemon, and Rhythm Heaven. Nintendo games were the first games I had ever played, and they've stayed a favorite ever since. Expect to see lots of Super Mario Galaxy in particular, as it's my all-time favorite, and the game my name, Luma, comes from. I also like trying out some indie games on occasion, and I really want to branch out and try more of them soon. There's a few I've had my eye on, so maybe they'll be worth trying on the channel sometime. I also like trying out some indie games on occasion, and I really want to branch out and try more of them soon. There's a few I've had my eye on, so maybe they'll be worth trying on the channel sometime. I would like to try some stuff a bit different from the sorts of games I usually gravitate to as well, just to see if I can find anything else I like. Having some variety can't hurt, right? I'd like to play more games with friends sometime too. However, I also really enjoy single-player experiences, and I especially gravitate to games focused on the story and characters. I enjoy getting to learn about the world at my own pace and really take in what the game has to offer. The games that make you think about the story details for weeks after finishing it are some of my favorites. I also really like stylized games, which is why I tend to gravitate to Nintendo titles like Super Mario, Splatoon, Pokemon, and so on. If you're looking for someone who plays lots of hyper-realistic, super difficult games, I may not be the VTuber for you. However, I really enjoy a mix of serious and silly games, so I'm sure there will be something interesting for anyone who stops by. I also take the time to cut down every recording into a long-form gameplay video by myself. These videos tend to be either random ramblings about the game's details or just general funny moments. Here's a few examples. Oh. Basketball! No, apparently it's not dead. They added basketball. Dinosaur! Huh? Around these parts I'm known as Huh? What? Runs for it, falls on her face, and then smiles, thumbs up. Oh yeah! I just ate the ground. Yummy! No, I hit the wrong time again! No! No! Oh, baby Mario, you son of a No teams, all vehicles, Cheeseland! Cheeseland! They're trying to experiment on the Mario Kart formula. Rosalina, what happened, girl? Girl! Oh, they're pals, they're driving together, look at them go! That's a bus, that's a bus! That's a... Oh! The next content focus is song covers. I've been using my channel as a way to track my progress with teaching myself how to sing. I used to really hate my voice, but over time I've grown to be okay with it, and now I'm learning the different ways I can utilize it. Music is something that has always been important to me, and has carried me through different phases of my life. I always find myself humming whatever song is on my mind, and I've always wanted to create music that resonates with people in the way other musicians have helped me. I also often want to try singing songs I like and see what I can learn from them, so I started doing covers. The covers you can find on my channel are usually either songs by other VTubers, Vocaloid and V-Synth, J-pop, J-rock, even video game songs, whatever I feel like, really. I mostly do solo projects on my own time, but I have also done a few duo or group projects here and there. One such example is when 10 indie VTubers got together last year to cover This Is Halloween from The Nightmare Before Christmas. It was a lot of fun to work on with everyone, and I learned a lot from doing that project. It's on my channel if it interests anyone. Anytime I do a solo cover project, I also make the entire video myself. I'll usually collect some free assets online to use, but the main art is always drawn by myself, and I edit everything on my own too. The jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none approach doesn't bring forth perfect results, but I still think it's fun to be able to do it all myself, and I hope to keep improving.
If it didn't stay relevant, then I cannot last. All relish it, then our plan's fast for this whole stitch. Toss out the passage and strike rich. Nobody asked the messages nor I fit, and this fiction's no disaster in spite of it. I stay curious, who comes after it? So mysterious, and yet I exist.
A smaller content focus of mine is drawing, though I usually do this on my own time. My art is always present somewhere on my channel, and it is something I am always trying to get better at. I'm still trying to figure out what art styles I like, as well as what methods work for me, but I just hope I can keep getting better over time. There's a reason they say practice makes perfect, right? Here are some examples of recent drawings I've done. There are many other things I would love to try in the future when I have more confidence and time, but these are the 3 main things I focus on as a VTuber. My hope is to keep improving my current skills while also gaining new ones, and becoming more confident in myself as I refine my craft. I want to get to know others in the VTubing community and see what I can learn from them. I'm a very anxious person, so starting VTubing has helped me get out of my shell a bit and get to know some amazing people doing really cool things. I even met Abyssal along the way. I wouldn't be here talking to you today if it weren't for them, so I'm very grateful. I look forward to participating in more cool projects, sharing what I'm passionate about with whoever will listen, and above all, just being silly and having fun, really. I have no big goals of getting big or making bank. I just want to enjoy my tiny corner of the internet and move at my own pace. And that's why I'm here doing what I do as a VTuber.
The horizon sits beneath our feet as we sit alone, alone. Let all the vibes align and meet my need to call this a home, a home. Is this a mountain? Or is it just a fountain that we wish on, that we spend our lives inside, hoping our hopes catch on? A single mountain taking us round again. I should ask you, can we go back to long before you got so rude? Every chance we get to talk is like a sprint before a walk. I'm out of breath, I can't connect. Is this abrasive or direct? My lack of skill is overwhelming. Every clue is loudly telling. Chapter 1 was mission fail, and soon the rest will not prevail. The horizon sits beneath our feet as we sit alone, alone. Let all the vibes align and meet my need to call this a home, a home. Is this a mountain? Or is it just a fountain that we wish on, that we spend our lives inside, hoping our hopes catch on? a single mountain taking us round again. I should ask you, can we go back to long before you got so rude?
捕まえてほらこのシューティングスター A world of our fiction awaits ずっと同じ毎日に迷いがあっても気づかないふりをしてたんだほんのちょっとの勇気がまた出せなくてまどろむ宇宙でさまよっていた夜空に浮かぶ星に願いをかけるんだ I hope 抱いてる夢を絶対諦めたくない走り出すから追いかけてほらあのシューティングスター見たことないストーリー進んでいくんだいつの日にかきっと描いた世界へたどり着けるように Let go of the things you thought mattered so let go of tomorrow's rolling in Is it the world we know or the dream we sought so long もっと誰でもない自分になりたいんだ新しい風が心を揺らした It takes something to believe the wish we were promised could really come to life And so if this is how the story goes to find that strength inside I'll remember why back then you took my hand and you said 捕まえてほらこのシューティングスターさあまずは一歩踏み出して恐れずに行こういつの日にかきっとまだ見ぬ世界へたどり着けるように夜明けに咲いた月がまぶゆいブルーの空に溶けてく You and I an undecided future Doesn't matter if the final truth hurts もうすぐ朝が動かすから抱きしめて今このシューティングスター見たことのないストーリー I'll be here betting on that fears of heights Cause you're that shooting star It's hopeless now but maybe if you take that step Into the darkness you'll find me Running by your side until the dawn In the end it's you and me Us against tomorrow Face the world that we had dreamed Dry your eyes and don't look back
You're not alone. There's no doubt. Your gift is if you'd all to be. If we'll be united, we're stronger together. We always have the high, not all for one, but one for all. Don't worry about a thing, we'll reach out to you, even it's a hard way. It's plain to see the reason why. All that's all because of the mighty heart. Remember, it's just natural that we'll be there if you need help for across the distance. Rest assured that our faith just won't die. You know we have to sacrifice ourselves, whatever they might say. It's plain to see the reason why. Oh, that's all because of the mighty heart. Remember, it's just natural that we'll be there if you need help for across the distance. Rest assured that our Thank you all so much for sticking around to the end of our panel, Indie VTubers Guide to VTuber Niches. If you enjoyed us today, you can check us out on our own channels. Starting off with me, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter, EDM, and BlueSky, all under Arashi Creates. Now, to my gin mate.
If you want to find me, you can check me out on Twitch, Twitter or X, YouTube, and TikTok, all at BritBlue2D. Blue is spelled B-L-E-U, so Brit, B-L-E-U, 2D.
You can find me on YouTube and Twitter/X at Constaluma. That's spelled with 2 L's like the word constellation. There's also a QR code on screen. If you scan that QR code, it will redirect you to an Abyssal card, which will tell you more information about Abyssal and link all of our socials for easy access. We're now approaching the end of the panel, but we did promise a little announcement at the end, so we would like to present to you Abyssal's first group cover of Always Tide by Holostars English Tempest Vanguard. Not only do we get to showcase some VTuber music for you, we also felt this song was pretty fitting because we're all fans of Holostars, and it's also quite symbolic for us since once we became Abyssal, we were, in a way, always tied. So you guys will be the very first to see the cover, and it will premiere over on YouTube sometime after the panel. We hope you enjoy, and thanks for coming out today.
Was a dream, boundless one like that tree. Right life stands a team. Raise a glass once we're done. Long past paradise, front door. We can get to that place. We'll grow forevermore. We can get to that place. We'll grow forevermore. If we can get to that place, we'll grow forevermore. Long in the case. Don't you remember when you laughed so hard you cried? If you forget who you are, you don't see your face. To the hollow tree, you're always and forever tied. Though my arms will stand out for that which we believe. There's no time to be had. Your flowers might would leave. Raise a glass once we're done. Long past paradise front door. We can get to that place. We'll grow forever. We can get to that place, we'll grow forevermore. If we can get to that place, we'll grow forevermore. What's that old tree you always say? If we can get to that place, we'll grow forevermore. Wherever you are to that old tree you always die. If we can get to that place, we'll grow forevermore. Beginning a journey so
Thank you again very much for coming to see us, Abyssal, at Anime Weekend Atlanta. We hope you enjoy the rest of the convention and return home safely. Bye bye!